In August of 1962, Amazing Fantasy 15 first hit comic book retailer shelves and newsstands. We were introduced to a new character created by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko by the name of Peter Parker. Peter Parker, after a chance encounter with a radioactive spider at a science exhibit, becomes the one and only friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Now, it's not 1962 anymore, it's obviously 60 years later, so let's fast forward and talk about Spider-Man now. One of the most beloved characters in the Marvel Universe and joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe during Avengers Civil War, Captain America Civil War, but it should have been called Avengers Civil War. Spider-Man is beloved by millions and has spanned timelines, characters including a Miles Morales and Miguel Sanchez, Spider-Man 2099, and become a favorite of all, young and old. So today, we're here to talk more about Spider-Man. And let's talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe version of Spider-Man who was snapped out of existence during Avengers Infinity War. Today, we're going to talk about the beautiful returning Iron Spider figure from Avengers Endgame created by our friends over at Mafex. This one is one of my favorites, and I have been waiting 422 days to unbox this just for you. My name is Super Billy N, and I beat colon cancer so I could tell you, welcome back to Unboxd.
Woo! Good Lord, that was a little emotional. Thank you guys for being here. Do me a favor, while you're here, don't forget to like, comment, and last but not least, do me a favor, Stives, put something right there, subscribe. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. I don't ever say that in videos, but anyway, guys, we're here to talk about the Avengers Endgame Mafex Spider-Man. For those of you who are toy collectors, Mafex makes some insanely highly detailed figures that come with some really cool parts, including magnetic feet, swappable hands, and just a wild amount of accessories. This one, I bought this from our friends over at Big Bad Toy Store. Shout out to my good friend Rachel in customer service. Thank you very much for always being awesome. And I bought this, and I just never got the opportunity to open it. I got sick right after it came out, and it's just been sitting here. This was supposed to be episode 4 last year, and we had to put everything on hold because I got sick, and well, I'm happy to tell you all right now, as I said, I'm cancer-free, and yeah. So I finally get to open the stupid figure, and I'm excited about it. I put out a couple other of my favorite Spider-Man figures that have come out in the last few years. You can see the Mafex Ben Reilly here in the back. That is a recent release. The Miguel, Spider-Man 2099, Marvel Legends, Miles Morales, most recent video game Marvel Legend. My favorite Marvel Legend of all time, Ben Reilly Scarlet Spider. This was my first actual Marvel Legend. And last but not least, the retro Spider-Man that came out a couple years ago with the slice of pizza. Pull that mask. As you can see, there's some great representations for all spiders across the Spider-Verse. Few that I don't have on here, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Woman that I really love. Silk, I just can't find Silk. She's so expensive. But, you know, when it comes down to it, I would love to see figures like that in a more premium format like this. For the collector like myself, who is, you know, spending, you know, an exorbitant amount of money on a figure and something that they can pose, that they can enjoy, they can photograph beyond, you know, Marvel Legends. I'm not saying Marvel Legends are bad. These are really cool, but they come with a lot more articulation. As I told you, the magnetic feet is a cool thing, and as you can see with this Peter Parker, unlike the Infinity War Spider-Man that Marvel Legends did a few years back, this one comes with the Kill Mode head, it comes with the Squinting Eye head, and it also comes with the Iron Spider legs. I know that Hasbro is putting out a really cool Amazing Spider-Man 529, first appearance of the Iron Spider costume from the Civil War comic book series later this year. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to buy it, but a lot of things can't be Mafex, as you can obviously see by these two figures right here. So without further ado, I've been waiting a long time to say this too. Stives, do me the good honor, speed the video up. 1, 2, 3, unbox. I love you. Ta-da! Alright guys, look at this. Unboxed, beautiful detail on this figure, fantastic. I don't have enough good adjectives about this figure. I really like the scaling, as you can see here. He really scales differently than the comic book version of the figure. noting that Tom Holland is supposed to be a 16 to 17-year-old kid in the movie, and that's really cool. It really stands the test of time as far as cool factor goes. Really fits into what Tom Holland is, but you know, beautiful detail. Like, zoom in on that. Like, really look at that. Like, sharp detail. You can see, you know, the lines in the webs. I mean, obviously this is a more premium figure. There's going to be a lot more things that are different about it, but there's just something special about a company like Mafex, especially when they use those butterfly joints and Peter Parker's clone falls over. But you don't see any of the joint hinges or anything like that. Also, as I showed you in the unboxing, you have magnetic hands and feet, but look at this. Compared to like a Marvel Legends figure, even on the bottom of his just normal feet, that's fantastic. Like, full detail on that. And this is what you're paying like $100 per a figure for. Like, you're paying for better paint apps, you're paying for those small details to be there, and you're paying for this figure to look better than what you'd go to Target and pick up. You know, this is a specialty figure, and it's made to be that for the serious collector, and that's what's cool. One other thing I really like about this is there's a removable back on him, as you can see here, and we can actually put in the Iron Spider legs, and this is even cooler. I just noticed this as we were doing this. It's magnetic. That's wild. So just great small detail and attention to detail by Mafex, you know, in making this figure and making it something that, you know, a collector like myself is willing to spend $100 on to, you know, just unbox. Like, and it's been sitting around my house, and I've been looking at it for so long. I've been waiting to, you know, unbox this figure that I just pulled something off of. Thankfully, it's breakaway. It looks like a really cool addition to this figure. The posable legs too, and posable in multiple areas. You know, it's supposed to be that fight at the end where Peter tells Friday to put him into kill mode, and you know, he puts the head on, and the glove is passed to him, and he brings the glove to Captain Marvel, and that's just a badass scene. Let me tell you, you want to talk about why Captain Marvel was brought into the Marvel universe, the cinematic universe of Marvel? That is 100% the reason was the end of Endgame, and that scene paid off in spades when she blew up Thanos' ship. That was so cool. I loved it, but I gotta say, I'm truly in love with what this figure is and how well it came together for such a premium figure. One small complaint a lot of people have about Mafex is sometimes the joints are very small and they have to be replaced very quickly because they're not very sturdy. I'm not gonna switch the hands out right now. I don't know much about this figure. I have a few other Mafex figures. I have the Wolverine. Obviously, I have the Ben Reilly Spider-Man. I have the X-Men animated series Cyclops and the comic book version Carnage. And in my personal experience, I've really enjoyed them. But as someone who really enjoys the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I'm really excited to own this iteration of Spider-Man. I don't regularly rate figures. That's one thing I rarely do. I haven't done it with this channel or with these videos yet. But one thing I will tell you is as a lifelong Spider-Man fan, as someone who's been reading Spider-Man, collecting Spider-Man, anything you can talk about Spider-Man my entire life, you know, I gotta say this is one of the best iterations of the figure. In plastic and just in general developed. Like, I love this suit. I love the idea of the Iron Spider. I really loved it in the movie. I loved it in No Way Home. And I'm so jazzed that we got such a cool iteration of Peter. I know a lot of people don't like it. I personally do. Your opinion is your opinion. My opinion is my opinion, and that's okay. But for this, I'm going to give it 6 Infinity Stones out of 6 Infinity Stones. I've waited a long time to be that cheesy, guys. But that's it for now. Thanks so much for tuning into episode 4 of Unboxd. Again, please don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you liked it, make sure you like the video. If you didn't like it, don't like the video, that's fine. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at A Bunch of Nerds IG. Make sure to follow us on TikTok at A Bunch of Nerds. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Billy Nichols Brand. My name is Super Billy N. Thank you again for tuning into A Bunch of Nerds. I've missed you all so much. Thank you for your love, your support, and your kind words over the last years. I want you to know, even if I didn't respond to your messages, I saw each and every one of them. I love you. See you next time.